Friends. Now, I thought I'd make my background appropriate. You know, we've got the Vulcan from yesterday, a lovely blue sky above it, and then we've got the Class 52 steam locomotive at the Deutsche Technik Museum in Berlin. Yeah, so as I said in yesterday's video, there's a lot of new ways of thinking I'm trying to employ in my life and to make myself calmer, making life happier, not looking at what the bad things are, what can we do with things, you know. And FedEx seems to be single-handedly trying to test me and push me to my limits on this. And I've basically sorted it out because till surprise when I get an email saying your parcel's been delivered, and I thought, well, actually I didn't even get an email. I went and checked to see how it was doing on its way back to Germany, and I was content to ring them up and talk to them about the import tax thing again, because like I say, I mean, I've had someone advise me that they wouldn't have paid it. Obviously I did pay it, but I thought, no, I've met them halfway. I'm going to follow that process. I've met them halfway on this. I paid it, but I'd like it back. Anyway. So, check the tracking. Delivered, Nuneaton. Accepted by A. Christ. Huh? That's what? Honestly? What? Went out into the hall, looked down, because I could see the front door from there. It's a glass door. A frosted glass, but you can see through it. Still to see shapes, and that was saying there. Oh my god, they haven't, have they? So, okay. They have, alright. So I immediately rang, and after you get their automated voice machine thing, it says it's not an automated voice machine thing. You know, you've got the options, you've got your account number. With them you can put your account number in. If you've got a business whatever, you put that in, or if you haven't got either, you press 0 and hash, and then the next thing will tell you tell you problem. Do you know the best way to contact us is to contact us through the online message text chat. I can only transfer this person over to then why did you give me the option to press something? If you haven't got these options, I'm afraid the only option for you to contact through this. So I just stood there saying, I'd like to talk to a person. I'd like to talk to a person. I'd like to talk to a person. Eventually got through to it, and he transferred me to a colleague that could help. And bless her, you know, because this is the most important thing, folks. If you have an issue like this, remember, the poor person at the other end of the phone is not the one responsible for whatever mishap you're going through. So you must be polite and friendly with them. As angry as you are inside, and as frustrated as you might be with the answers they're giving, it's not there. They can only do what they can do. So I also went through it with her, and she's given me an email for UK invoice query at fedex.com, which, you know, I could talk to her about the import, and I said, okay, what happens with the parcel? Well, you can raise a new shipment thing with us. I said, okay, that's going to cost me more money. I've already paid you best part of £76 for the import on this, and the rest of it, you know, because don't forget, they've got their own little, you know, we've done this for you, so here's our little transaction fee on top of the import. DHL do it. All these other stuff I've paid for Japan, DHL do it. FedEx is a bit more than DHL, so that's something to watch out for. Anyway, you know, and you can pull that up with the invoice query as well. And I said, okay, thank you. She's like, it made me laugh though. She said, you want to stay on is the customer survey thing, how well I did and everything on the end. If you wouldn't mind just staying on the line. I was like, okay. So I was going to make a point about, she had a really difficult sort of case to deal with, handled it rather well, I thought. She put the phone down and it killed the call, so I wasn't able to do it. So, okay. Yeah, so anyway, friends. Patience well and truly tested this morning, one way or another. With that, it's great when you're not long sort of really being that conscious. I've been awake for a while, but sort of doing. I'm trying to rest. We've got a big day tomorrow. Very big day out tomorrow. Down to the Tank Museum at Bovington. So it's going to mean a sort of 6 o'clock start and whatever. It's only 3 hours to get there, but So just trying to rest up and sort of come straight. But it's all paid for. Is what I see. I've still actually not heard back from Lipper. That's it. That I am a little disappointed on Lipper's front. I did expect sort of like, hobby search. Boom, I'd have an email back saying, okay, send it back or whatever. Because obviously I went through it when I had the issues with that. Yep, but this is Micro Race. Micro Race are getting better. And they actually, we worked together on this one, and they basically ended up being in direct contact with Micro Race to sort out new chassis. So now I've got one that works. It can be done. Even across the span of where we are. Excuse me, this is blooming it. Right. So, wow. That other set, the Pico one, appears like Lipper's website's been a bit funny. So basically what I've done is made a decision. I'm going to keep these. I'm going to keep this, and we'll look at converting the Pico to 3-rail at some point in the future. Let's have the fresh start. It's obviously meant to be that this is here. I'm going to try and keep that zenness, keep that centered balance of myself in check. It's not what I can't do. I don't want to spend. I don't even want to think what shipping this to Europe's going to cost. It's actually now cheaper. Now everything's paid for. It is now cheaper to keep it here. So that is what I'm going to do. So, you're going to get an unboxing. You ready for that? So, right, we have a Meccan set in here. And I say I look at converting it to 3-rail. I'll do some research into that today, how easy it is to do that, how difficult it is to do that. Now, if I'd listened to the friend that said I wouldn't have paid the import, possibly it wouldn't have been here. So there is that. So some of this brought on myself, perhaps, eh? But anyway. Let's forget about that now, because that's done. You can't change it. You see, Anthony, the 3-rail gods, decided that, oh my god, so the box isn't actually... Flipping heck! I didn't realise the box was actually that big. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. Oh my god. So we've got one little package there, which is that one. Oh! The box is falling apart now. You've taken my structural integrity away. Oh dear. Right. Oh, is that a pre-done tear line? No. That was kind of cool there. So here we go. Well, some of you already know what I've got. I've been talking about it. It doesn't work. But do they get box sizes from? Did a Curascale get their idea from? No, if somebody a Curascale, it'd fill the room, wouldn't it? There we are. Starter with Märklin Digital. The Regio Express. This is really heavy. And it says you need 1 time Steuerwagen. Well, fortunately, I thought of that. Got one. And there it is, the Doppelstock Steuerwagen 2 second class, basically, yeah. So we have a Steuerwagen to go with our set. Right, well, should we have a look at them? Let's start with this one. I've got it here. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that, because then you fall on the floor. You don't want you to fall on the floor, do you? Don't be silly. So, my first modern piece of, well, modern in every sense of the word, I suppose, because here, this is actually Epoch 5, apparently, according to the listing, but it's the only one they do it a minute to go with that. Get it out. Now you'll have seen these on Anthony's channel, of course. But there we are. The ski. My first item with a ski to pick up the current on the track. Which of course it will need, because hopefully it's got lights in this end. For the red lights when it's going that way and white when it's coming this way. But that is... Actually, how does it know which way it's going? Like a current pickup or something. How would it know? It's very nice weight, isn't it? I mean, obviously, yeah, I know you've seen these. You've seen these on Anthony's channel. You've seen them on 101 different channels. I'm sure it's a pretty basic item of rolling stock. But, yeah. It's different to hold it in person. There is a feeling of quality, there is, I will say that. There's a feeling of quality. Let's pop that there. Now, as I understand it, those aren't actually true 187 scale. Wow, okay, you're all warm. Chill out, mate. I'm not sure if he's angry or happy. That's quite a face to open the box to. Ah, dear. So, right, there we are. Right. So, of course, then we've got the normal Regio bun. These are the Euro 6 ones. So that's the difference I can see, is that hasn't got the Regio DB on it, so maybe just get a transfer or decal, whichever you prefer, to go on there, on the other one. Just so it matches up. Same the other side as it is that side. So this is your second class one again. Oh, what's under there? Is that more track? It's the track under that bit. Because of course we have the Mobile Station 2. That's quite nice, that, yeah. And there's the first class with the yellow stripe on it. Or in the light a bit. Yeah. There we are. There as well, see? And of course, the one we all want to see, well, all I want to see, is this. And they put the plastic inside lifted up. I do like this as a new way of doing things. In there quite firmly. Is my Class 245. Again with the ski. My first AC 3-rail locomotive. There's something I wondered, I saw this on the Let's Build a Layout Merklin videos. The speakers actually outside the locomotive. That body is really cold. It's metal. Wow. That's... yeah. Wow. It gives me the dimensions for the layout. I think it might actually fit on there. So, if not, I'll figure something out. We'll get this running. And I think because this video is already 60 minutes long, that's going to be another video because it's going to take me longer than that to sort everything out, and I kind of could do with something to eat and that as well. So, but I won't run it until I've got the camera pointed at it. So, yeah, I might get things set up. But of course, you can access the cogwheels and there if you need to do any oiling, which obviously you probably won't. It'll be fine. Yeah. There's a little bit of detail on the roof. Not a huge amount. It's not as interesting as say as an electric would be with all the other bits. So, okay. So what's the plan? What's the plan, eh? Let's put that on its side on here. So I don't want to. I'm a little bit worried about damaging the skis. What's the plan? So obviously doing the 3-rail. Doing the 3-rail will mean that set, the loco, will need to be converted. I'll do some research into that. As far as I'm aware, it's changing the motor for an AC1 and adding a ski. Which on paper doesn't sound too horrific, does it? And obviously that one would need a decoder and everything as well. It's going to be... nothing is impossible. It's just how you get there. So... yeah, but the wagon's also be useful. But I'm still going to head towards that SNCB layout. The Regio barn set. Well, if I close the Deutsche Technik Museum picture, I go right down to the bottom. I rode one in Berlin. And I'm pretty sure I've ridden something similar on the Rhine in Germany. So all I wanted to get is an appropriate locomotive for what would have probably pulled us both times, and I've got a choice then of 3 different engines to haul us. If anyone knows what would have been running from, I'm going to guess, Lahnstein to Cologne, or Niederlahnstein to Cologne, if it was one of these, was these double-decker coaches and everything, please let me know down in the comments. I can't remember. I can remember that diesel shunt, I can remember seeing ICEs, I can remember seeing Regio barns and ICs, but I can't remember what we actually rode that time. I was 12. I'm 35. You forget the centuries of my age. I was telling Sol at the weekend, she said, oh, last time you came, when you were younger, came to the Roman ruins, then you'd be able to see the terracotta supports for the bathhouse floor. And I said, no. When I came here when I was younger, they were still open for business. But yeah, so anyone that knows what would have been running there, let us know. You know, there's some very knowledgeable people out there. Because it'd be great to have, in theory, the 2 trains to run on. And then basically everything else I get from here is then Belgian steam. Belgian, French, German steam, because I do like the idea of having them both come in. But obviously, the model rail gods had decided that I was to do 3 rail. That's clearly what I say as mission I'm getting. The other one's not in stock, they're having to order it in, I'm seeing. But yeah, so it's more money than I intended to spend this month. But these things happen occasionally. And Anthony used the phrase on his platform redo about Bob Ross happy accidents. I could get really annoyed, I could get really wound up about this. Be hurraying, feeling crap for the rest of the day, which would possibly spoil tomorrow as well. Because for those who have suffered with depression, that it can be a bugger when you want to get something in your head. So I've caught it, and I'm trying to make that choice of going, yeah, no, clearly this was meant to be. This was meant to be. So this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. We're going to do what we can with what we've got, rather than trying to go, oh, if only. We're going to do what we can with what we've got. So I'm going to go away now. You're pleased to hear. And the next time you see me, hopefully, I'll have... Oh, no, not hopefully. I will have some sort of track set up over there. Hopefully, it might even be a circuit. Because I'm pretty sure, from what it's saying, I'm pretty sure we can actually get a full circuit on here. Which is kind of cool, in a way, because, it gives me the dimensions on here. 184 by 76, so we might not be able to do the full length. So it might just mean that goes, and one of those goes down a bit. But in theory, you might even actually be able to get the full thing, to get a loop up, which would be amazing, wouldn't it? It'd be really good. Look at that, showing all the stuff you can buy inside the box. There you go, some trains. So, yeah. Nothing Belgian now, it's all German. But yeah, right, well, I'll go and do that. I have to put the angry man smile. I think he's doing a yeah sort of thing. He's got his mare clear out, yeah. This was angry to me. It's like the first thing you see him, the bottom. Put him over there upside down. I don't want to see that. But anyway, yeah. So I'll see you in another video running the train. Right, bye for now.